Hello future QA professionals. Welcome back to QA Testing Made Easy. In this video we're going to continue with our QA interview questions and answers series. And answer 10 more interview questions that can make or break your job interview. So, if you're preparing for that big QA interview, stay tuned. Question 61. Describe your experience with conducting exploratory testing and the benefits it brings to the testing process. Answer. I was working on a project and no prior documentation was available. Exploratory testing allowed me to simulate real-world user behavior and uncover issues that may not be apparent through scripted tests. I used my knowledge and experience to test the system and find unexpected defects. Exploratory testing helps identify usability and functional issues early in the development process and complements structured testing efforts. Exploratory testing can be a great way to find negative scenarios that may not have thought of otherwise. Question 62. How do you handle testing for projects with multiple iterations or continuous deployment? Answer. For projects with continuous deployment or multiple iterations, I focus on building a robust regression test suite. I ensure that automated tests are integrated into the CI/CD pipeline to execute continuously and provide fast feedback on new changes. Question 63. How do you ensure that test results are communicated effectively to stakeholders, including developers and project managers? Answer. I provide clear and concise test reports with detailed information about test execution status, defects, and progress. I also participate in regular status meetings and walkthroughs, where I present test results and discuss any potential risks or blockers. Question 64. Explain your approach to creating test data for various test scenarios. Answer. I create test data that covers different test scenarios, including valid and invalid inputs, edge cases, and boundary conditions. I focus on data diversity and ensure that the test data reflects realistic user scenarios. Question 65. What do you do when you encounter an intermittent bug that is challenging to reproduce consistently? Answer. When encountering intermittent bugs, I collect as much information as possible. When the issue occurs, including log files, screenshots, and system details, I collaborate with the development team to investigate the root cause and attempt to isolate the conditions that trigger the bug. Question 66. How do you ensure test cases cover both positive and negative scenarios comprehensively? Answer. To ensure that test cases cover both positive and negative scenarios comprehensively, I follow these steps. Identify possible scenarios. This includes both positive and negative scenarios. For example, if I am testing a login form, positive scenarios would include entering valid credentials and logging in successfully. Negative scenarios would include entering invalid credentials and failing to log in. Use equivalence partitioning and boundary value analysis. Equivalence partitioning is a technique that divides input data into equivalence classes. Each equivalence class represents a set of data that is expected to behave in the same way. Boundary value analysis is a technique that tests the values at the edges of the input domain. For example, if the input domain is 0 to 100, you would test the value 0, 1, 99, and 100. I also consider use cases that test the application's ability to handle unexpected inputs. Question 67. Describe your experience with creating and maintaining automated test scripts for complex workflows. Answer. I have experience creating automated test scripts using frameworks like Testing and Cucumber. I maintain modular test scripts that cover complex workflows, making them easy to update and reuse as the application evolves. Question 68. How do you handle a situation when a critical bug is discovered just before the application release deadline? Answer. In such situations, I immediately inform the project stakeholders about the critical bug. I collaborate with the development team to understand the impact and work together to determine the best course of action, whether it's a quick hotfix or postponing the release until the issue is resolved. Question 69. How do you manage test cases and defects when testing multiple product versions simultaneously, e.g., maintenance releases and major updates? Answer. For multiple product versions, I maintain separate test case repositories and defect tracking for each version. I prioritize testing based on version criticality and allocate testing efforts accordingly. Question 70. Describe a time when you had to collaborate with remote or offshore team members for testing. Answer. In a previous project, I collaborated with a remote testing team located in a different time zone. We used collaboration tools like Slack and video conferencing to stay connected. And we synchronized our testing efforts to ensure seamless communication and efficient testing progress. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more valuable insights on QA and testing. Best of luck with your interviews, keep practicing, and remember you've got this.